starting our parade of power. We're just about ready to go with that. This year, as our featured tractor is the Huber. And our first man up is Jerry Nelson. 1936 model. Jerry's had that in his family since about day one.
Jerry's tractor is a 1934 Huber model HK. It's Grandpa Wilkie's tractor at one time.
This Huber's been around Door County as long as I can remember, coming through parades and fairs for lots and lots of years since I was in high school. Jerry had to repaint it a couple years, did a great job. Next comes up John Ty with a Huber Orchard from Marion, Ohio. Tell us about a truck.
This is a Huber L Orchard tractor. Like Ralph said, our driver is Jonathan. It's in the Tom and Chris Ty family. That tractor was found in parts in Sturgeon Bay.
Playing off behind Krieger Implement for a lot of years, and I seen the tractor before we started. And I looked at Tommy and I said, "You got an awful, awful grudge on your life to get that thing back running into the store." But you did a great job with it. The Ty family has a number of good tractors here, and appreciate their coming. Here comes Don Bader from Brussels.
This is a 1937 Eagle 6 row crop tractor. This is a tractor that was made in Appleton.
Hey, we got a little sweetie here on the center of tractor. That's belonged to the Kai family. And this young lady, I should know her name, and I'm drawing a blank. Kayla. Kayla's been around here and looks like it was an Air Force tractor. Tell us more about it, Chuck.
It's a 1947 Centaur. The tractor was a U.S. Air Force tractor. It's in the Kai family also. This is another Tom and Marlin Kai tractor. This is the Eagle 6C. The driver is John Perlwitz. It's a 1936. This tractor was made in Appleton.
Okay, here comes Tom Kai with a Shepherd diesel. I believe this is a 3-cylinder with a factory-wide front. Very, very rare combination. If I remember right, the Shepherds came with a marine motor, high compression, low RPMs. What year is it, Tom? I don't remember.
1952. It's a 3-cylinder diesel. The driver is our announcer, Tom Kai, from the tractor pull.
Here come a pair of antiques selling old water and old soda. The only reason they got to be for the parade. You need something, give a holler, give a wave. We've got a lot of stuff happening this afternoon, so please support our club, buy a little soda, a little beer. Remember, after this, we're having the bale race, and at 3:30, the pig wrestle. Come on and enjoy the afternoon at Thresheree here in Velmy.
Otherwise, my comments are that those guys just ain't much. This tractor is also owned by Donald Bader, be driven by Don Rutio. It's an Eagle 6 from Appleton.
Also, that tractor is for sale. If you want to buy it, Don has it for sale. He told me what he wants for it, and I got a short memory. I don't remember. Next tractor here belongs to John Bauer from Appleton. Actually, about 6 months ago, I owned this tractor. Actually, my other half, Becky, owned it. It's an economy tractor, and John found out we had it and wanted it and put some new tires on it. And I was hoping he was going to pull it yesterday, but we missed that. But another time, John. Thanks for bringing them up. He's got a whole load of them up, and if you want to know more about economy tractors, John seems to be the expert.
Yes, John has 4 economy tractors. He also has a page out of the Sears Roebuck catalog. That's where the tractor was originally purchased from.
Here come Randy Pichette. Okay, guys, got to wave to everybody. Wave pretty. You too, honey.
Both hands. Come on, wave both hands.
Randy, anybody wants to ride, big kids as well, little, are more than welcome to ride along. Here comes another Hubert, another John Kai running one through. What's this one, Chuck?
This is a Huber standard type tractor.
What is it? What's the model, John? L.
It's a Huber L.
Okay, here comes Marlin Guy, the beautifully restored Oliver 66 Orchard. These were quite common when I was growing up here in Door County. A lot of them disappeared, a lot of them went to scrap, a lot of them got the sheet metal thrown away. This one looks pretty dang nice. Very nice tractor from the Kai family.
This is a 66. It was made in 1949, and it's been in Door County all of its life.
Here comes a tractor from Washington Island. The Nielsen's bring us always down a nice bunch of tractors. And this is that's the gas, that's the diesel. It's a 70 diesel. Comes off Washington Island. Having his son Peter do a lot of work and restoring these tractors, and I appreciate him coming down. They bring these across on the ferry to us, and it's a lot of work and a lot of expense, but we do appreciate you coming down. I take a truck across there once in a while. I know what it costs. Here comes Peter on a 70 gas. We've been using the 70 gas during the show here. Yeah. Peter.
This tractor is the 70 gas.
70 gas, Peter's got it. Yes, another one that Peter brought down. He brought a 6 down. Thank you, Peter. We always have a lot of fun when we get together. Yesterday we were using the 70 on the cutting corn with it.
This is another Walt Nielsen tractor. It's a 1955 John Deere 40. It's also pulling a 1949 John Deere manure spreader. Our driver is Marissa.
Hi, Marissa. This John Deere spreader I had purchased in Pennsylvania probably a year and a half ago, and Peter bugged me to sell it to him, and there was not a speck of paint left on it, but there was very sound sheet metal. And he took it to the John Deere Expo over in Waterloo, Iowa, and got a brass tag for it. You look at this spreader, it never did much work. It's very well done.
This is Don Rudolph, one of our club members. It's a 630 case, triple range tractor. What year is it done?
63?
It's a 1963 model. Looks good, Don.
K630, it's got the factory eagle hitch on the back.
This is Cody Jinkwart. This is our winner yesterday of our benefit pull.
Cody had a nice pull, had a good competition. We had 15 tractors in there. We helped the young lady out in the county here a little bit, and thanks for participating. You should get over this next guy.
Oh, that looks like one of the tractors out of my stable. That's C.J. Massart in a 1950 Farmall M.
What's that?
And another thing, everybody should look at the exhaust on Cody's tractor because it's actually C.J.'s. I would say that's a community pipe.
Okay, you got a Farmall C with an Ellis tobacco farmer. He was telling me yesterday he used to farm in southwest Wisconsin, and it's a little known fact that in one time in southwest Wisconsin, lots and lots of tobacco being raised. I work in that country quite a bit, and I see a lot of these old planters around. They're getting less and less all the time.
This tractor is a Alice Chalmers WD. The driver is Glenn Pichak.
Very nicely restored WD Alice. Okay, we got, is it Bernie coming with his?
This next thing is a car. It's a 1930 Dodge driven by Darren Pavlik of Maplewood.
Got the boys in the back seat there? How you doing? Glad you brought her up.
Looking good. Got the air conditioner on.
Here comes Corey Cornett, Little McCormick. W12, Little McCormick W12. This has come off a little island off of Sturgeon Bay, and they brought it back across on the ice in kind of rough shape. Corey put a lot of effort, a lot of time in it. It's got it basically in showroom condition. Corey, how's the head this morning? Corey was celebrating something yesterday, but I don't remember what.
This tractor is a 1935, and I do believe it was found off an auction island off of Pod Park. I like your helper. That tractor is very hard to drive, but I'm glad you see. I'm glad you see you. Yeah, there you go. That's nice. That's a mechanic. That's the person that greases the tractor.
Here we got a 1949R. This tractor came out of Canada about 15 years ago. I was up there buying a bunch of ARs one day. We stumbled across this and bought it. Being driven by Butch LeViolet over at Carlsville. Butch helps the club a lot. We've been here any time in the last 3 to 5 weeks. Probably the only person you run into a lot of days will be Butch. Butch puts lots and lots of time up here, and we thank him every day for it. Thank you.
This is a John Deere H, owned by Ken and Mary Vanderloop. The driver is Tim. Nicely restored. Thanks, Tim.
John Deere MT, another one of Ken Vanderloop's.
Yes, this is Paul, and this is Ken's son-in-law. And Paul is a good friend of mine, and we know that I and Paul always have to look good.
Thanks, Paul.
It's our story. We make it as big as we want, right? Keep watching for him, Darren. More behind you, Darren.
This is a 971 Ford. Select the speed. Oh, that's Jay on there. Good seeing you.
Very nicely done, little Ford with selective speed. The selective speed was developed by Ford, and they gave up on it too quickly. And the person who developed the transmission for Ford went to work for John Deere. And anybody who's a John Deere fan, in 1964, they come out with a 40-20 and 30-20 with the same basic power shift, which they perfected. Another one of Ken's, I believe, coming up, an AR John Deere.
The AR John Deere is a standard model of the A row crop. Is that Mike on there?
Next coming up is a Ford 2000 offset. This tractor came out of southwest Wisconsin, another one owned by the Vanderloop family. This was used in vegetable farming. This one actually would come off a tobacco farm, southwest Wisconsin.
The driver is Ken's daughter-in-law, Jen. Next tractor is a Farmall Cub, owned again by the Vanderloop family, being driven by Ken's wife, Mary.
Did you check the gas?
Next up is another John Deere 60, driven by Ken Vanderloop himself. Looking good, Ken. You're going to get like I and Paul. Next tractor is a John Deere A, driven by Dick Rowland. A B. It's green.
I'm trying to be good. Very, very nice. John Deere B on style. What year is it? 1935. Beautifully done. I don't think it looked much better than this day. Come off the showroom. Thanks for bringing it up from Darboy, Wisconsin. Here comes a Case D. Looks like a McCormick plow behind it. Where are you from?
This is Dave Calloway from Egg Harbor.
Luckily, one of us has got good eyes.
This looks like another John Deere B.
B. This one comes from Bailey's Harbor, Dave Niswiggy, with a number 5 Sycamore, I believe. Looking good, Dave.
This is another John Deere B, restored by Dave Calloway from Egg Harbor, with a restored Northwest Railroad baggage mail cart.
.630 John Deere. Belongs to the Dietrich family out by Maplewood, off by S if I remember right. They pulled it yesterday. It's a lot heavier than I expected it to be. Good old 630 in its work clothes.
Our driver is Terry Dietrich.
Here comes a John Deere LI. Industrial version of an L.
Driven by Brad and the boys.
Brad and the boy. Brad Geisel from out by Brussels. And here comes another one behind, an L. Okay, here comes Jerry with his 1020. Jerry's from by Michigan. Jerry, for this past summer, he's putting the new clutches and stuff in our snow go. Worked on it off and on, and if you've seen the snow go up there, it's a hell of a different machine. And it's what, 12 clutch packs, if I remember he told me right. So we got it running and working good. Here comes Quentin. Quentin Tazarek, also from the Tish Mills, Michigan area. Son of our president. He likes his Olivers. Pretty good mechanic on top of it. Did a nice job restoring it, Quentin. Did you pull yesterday? How'd you do? Out of 3 tractors? Thanks for coming up, Quentin. Hey, here comes a people caller with a cockshot 1550. There's a lot of walk. Hey, Bobby, how you doing today? Jim Sokup owns the tractor, right? A cockshot 1550 with an Oliver Green front end on it. So they made him in the cockshot the same as a 1550 Oliver. Here comes a John Deere M. Well, these boys got it running yesterday. It's something I bought out of a state here a while back and never got a chance to run it. The Rusky boys started to work on it. Coming behind it is a field marshal, and they tell me we're having little fuel problems with it. This is a single-cylinder tractor. I wish it was running. It's about the most unique little diesel tractor you ever saw, but we're having some fuel problems. Thanks for running them through, guys.
This is a Farmall M with a V8.
Give her a handful. That's what she sounds like.
This is a Farmall M diesel.
But he's having these around. At one time, they were not a real valuable tractor. In the last few years, the collectors have caught on to them. They've got to be quite a collectible tractor. These tractors start on gas, they switch them over to diesel after they're running, and they shut them off on gas. Here comes Willie Rusky with his 44 Massey. He comes from Simcoe, Wisconsin.
This is a 1951 Massey 44, painted red.
Next up, we got Mr. Rex. He's been helping us out here quite a bit the last couple days in his Farmall M. He pulled a couple yesterday. I don't remember what he did, but him and his wife Faith have been helping us a lot, getting things ready, helping us on the pig pit. What did you do yesterday, Brian? The boys got first and second in their class. That was what class? 5250? 6250. Did a good job. Here comes back the parade. You got a new group this time? All right, take her light. All right, next coming up is Terry Koshart's Minneapolis. It's a large, basically a Western tractor that was built on the same basic category as a steam engine, but has a very large 4-cylinder gas engine. Terry lives over in Brussels. We thank him a lot. He always brings a great line of tractors, including a steam engine. Thanks for coming up, Terry. Minneapolis Threshing Company, Hopkins, Minnesota. Beautiful, beautiful tractor. I know Terry's had this for 4 or 5 years. I guess it kind of speaks for itself. Thanks, Terry. Next coming up is an Rumley oil pull. Another one that's run by Terry Koshart. Beautifully restored. Terry always brings a good line of good rare tractors. Appreciate him bringing it up.
Rumley oil pull.
Yes, I do believe it did. Yes, it did. It went with a plow. No, this guy did not have a plow on it.
Here comes Tim Koshart driving his dad's steamer. He had this apart for several years, working on it, completely rebuilding it. Had a new boiler made. Beautifully restored. I believe it's a 1918 model. Kind of speaks for itself. Very, very well done. Tim's got his wife and family along. Wave pretty. Give her another shot, Tim. Next coming up is Terry's daughter, Trish, and her husband driving a Model S Orchard. That tractor came about 3 or 4 miles from here, out of a barn, was sitting for a lot of years. Terry acquired it, put lots and lots of work into it, but it's as good as showroom condition now. One time, like I said, we had lots of these orchard tractors in this part of the country. Next comes up Mary Koshart. Mary is driving a little tow vehicle. This was used at airports for towing luggage box around and conveyors around. It's a VAI, I'm sorry, VAI. Get the VA part right. It's a tow vehicle. Next, go ahead.
Next is another W40 owned by the Kosharts. Okay, Dan Casey is driving this tractor owned by the Koshart family.
Next coming up is the Frenchman, Mr. Harold, bringing up his Baker. He acquired this out of Michigan about a year ago. Harold comes from over the Manawa area. Appreciate you coming up, Harold. Harold sometimes brings a steamer. We've had a lot of fun with Harold over the years. We're going to have to put that in the tractor pull and puller sometime. Thanks for bringing it up, Harold. Hey, this is something we've never had on the show before. Jim Schaus out of Manitowoc called up a few days ago, or maybe a week ago, and said, I'd like to bring up an excavator. This is the early 50s vintage. It's all mechanical. Got a Hercules 6-cylinder motor. He'll be demonstrating it up by the scale later in the day again, moving gravel. It's something he just recently acquired and got restored, and just a beautiful job, and Jim's been having a lot of fun with the shovel loader. Like I said, it's an early 50s vintage. And got her done up nice. Weighs about 30,000 pounds. Hercules powered. Very, very nice piece. All right, what do you got next over here, Chuck? I don't have a clue.
It's a roll crop steamer. Somebody built it, yes. And it comes from up here.
First I've seen it.
I seen it going to Chilton on the highway. It was behind the pickup truck on the highway, but
Pulling it or on a trailer?
going it on a trailer.
Jim's been putting a lot of good demonstrations on over by the scale, moving gravel around. He was hoping he had a dump truck to dump it into, but he just...
That's the old maid, huh?
I'm not sure, but I think somebody's got a lot of spare time on their hands and lots of ambition. Where you from? We'd have a slip on you.
Watch out there!
Sturgeon Maine, your name? Carl, okay, thanks for bringing it up. It's an interesting piece. It looks like we started with F20 and worked forward from there. F30, okay, we got, Jick, you were right. Very unusual, we'll talk later. I enjoy it. Thanks for bringing it up. This is here, and I hope it's them anyhow. Distance, it looks like them. Jason Lice down a CC case. This was one that spent its entire life in Door County. Originally it belonged to Cletus Settle up at Peninsula Center. Is this the right one? I was wrong. It's Brian driving. Don't take it the wrong way. Is this the one that Cletus owned? 1929, 1928? 36. That's a late one. You got up in the new generation.
Next up,
Brian did a great job last night. He's the head of the Modern Day Drifters band, and they also got a lot of the small display up here of small engines and hit and miss engines and small implements. They give us a great show every year. Thanks for coming. Next up, we got Nathan Seminar and a Case R.
1938 model.
You're cheating. You got notes.
Next up, tractor owned by Brian and Jason Lice. It's a 1940 Farmall B. The earlier ones were very popular with a single front wheel.
Brian's quite a wrestler, he tells me. Someday get a minute, time to spend a beer with Brian, he'll tell you about it. He's a hell of a wrestler. Well, maybe it's a standoff yet.
This is a 1953 Super H, bought new by our grandpa, Walter Tank, driven by Roy Geisel.
Scott, good to see you again, Roy. Glad you came up. Okay, here comes Faith, or lack of faith. Driving a Farmall H, Faith Rex and their daughter. Wave nice, better lady.
Next up is Ralph Bocek's Oliver Hartpar.
1932 model, 1827. Driven by Keith Lee. Keith's up here from Kill, Mississippi. We've been friends for a lot of years, and decided once he's going to get up here to our Thresheree, and I'm still convincing him to try to pig wrestle. He had his first shot yesterday at tractor pulling, and it didn't go so good the first time out, but we did a little practicing, and we put it back into the benefit pull last night, and Keith pulled it again, and I pulled it, and we ended up with third place. Thanks for coming up, Keith.
Next up is Kevin Stauber's John Deere, painted pink in memory of his mother. Looks good.
Kevin also pulled last night in our benefit pull, did a good job with it. Becky thinks they should paint one of ours that color. We haven't got this figured out yet.
Looks good.
Here comes Becky with her 1936 Silver King three-wheeler. Becky pulled this in light class yesterday and got first place. Nice little tractor, a little Silver King made in Plymouth, Ohio.
Ralph had to think about what it was. He forgot.
It's just that a brain thing.
Yep. This is Peter Nielsen in a Dodge Power Wagon from the Washington Island.
Peter, where'd you get the Dodge Power Wagon from? Illinois. What did you drive up from Kentucky or Tennessee? A deuce and a half. We're going to talk about that. Thanks for bringing them, Pete. Okay, here comes Bernie Geisel with his 816 McCormick. He bought this several years ago down in central Wisconsin, and it's being pulled by a McCormick hay loader. This hay loader was donated from a family up around Ellison Bay. I ran into him one day and we hauled it back. The same family donated that very, very nice case spreader that's out in front. Thanks for Bernie. For the first 15 years of our show, we held the show at Bernie's farm over the road here about 2 miles away.
Next tractor up is Cody Jeancourt with a WD9. It's a family tractor. Cody was in the pull yesterday. I don't know how he did with it, but nice tractor. Next up, CJ Massard with 1943 Farmall M. It's a tractor that we use for tractor pulling. Next up, Ron Neighborfeld with a CC case and another tractor. Look at Ron, born to be wild.
All right, up next we got Dennis Leclue from south of Sturgeon Bay on his Oliver 60. Dennis has got quite a selection of Olivers mostly. He takes his time with them, does a great job, and I think he's got 3 of his boys that work with him, and they come and they pull and have a good time with us and appreciate the help. We got to get him a different green color once in a while, but we'll keep working on them.
Next up after that is Steve Bell with a TO30. The tractor was made in 1953. It also has a semi-mounted cultivator behind it. Next up, Judy and Dean Schumacher and Candy Birmingham.
Yeah, Candy. The members that joined with us last year, they've been helping us out a lot, trying to get a little spark into some of the old guys and having a good time with them. I'm not sure if Judy's got the best seat in the world, but they're getting into it. Thanks, Judy. Down the track here, Butch and Violet is in our Snow Go. It's a 1926 model. We just had a clutch in it. We've been having little engine problems. We got some dirt and stuff in the carburetors. And I think he's having that problem again. If a few extra adjectives come out of there, it's only from Butch.
No, Quentin, that is not first gear. Quentin, it's coming up on the other side, but that is not first gear. Well, I'm sorry, you still have to be safe. Rather, what you want to do.
Next up, Brian Rex with a 1939 Farmall M. Next up is our club president, Brian Tesaric, with a John Deere MT and one of the new club purchases of Algoma chopper. The chopper was made in Algoma, Wisconsin by Algoma Foundry. Algoma Foundry made the Algoma model of feed gutters choppers, and later years they were the Monarch Company, but before that they also built the Massey lawn tractors right in Algoma, Kewaunee County.
Brian, you got to hook her up and see how she runs. We got to chop straw yet this afternoon. Looks good. Brian's been our president for the last 2 years. He lives over in 4 years. You've taken that much punishment? 4 years. Thanks, Brian. Lives over in Tisch Mills, Wisconsin. Here comes Randy Pichette with a new load. Wave nice, kids. Looks like the front guys with a little farmer contest. If you get a chance to see it this year at Summit, it's always fun to watch. The kids' little farmer contest and the pedal pull. That is always a great, great fun.
Here's Quentin Teseric, I guess, pulling the snow go through. This was property of Door County. It was used here in the county for cleaning snow off the roads.
This machine was used in the county until the 70s and donated to our club about 10 years ago. Butch did have it running. Run out of gas, Butch? I don't either. It's a very unusual type motor. If you get a chance, come up to it close, pick up the side curtains. It's got a very, very large Climax motor, 6-cylinder. It has dual ignition, both a magneto and a distributor. It's got sprinklers on each side of the head.